Peace, my family, and right back to all those coming out at a good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good mind. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher nature family, and most definitely cleansing, because you know what's up. We gotta cleanse. That's right, cleansing the loves. I came out here today to express how y'all feeling on this good journey within. Again, it's very important to express yourself, how you feel to yourself, because again, it's about being honest with yourself, because that's what's going to take to you to face what's coming to the surface for you. Because again, once you start to be honest with yourself with how you're feeling, begin to accept it and begin to see things what they are in every situation, you begin to see that all you need to do is make some changes. Because if you're tired of feeling a certain way, it's in our inner power within ourselves, the power to make a decision to change. And that's steps, right? So it's about making steps to change. So again, I'm speaking on this because this is what helped me out, right? And this is also, what I've learned along the way, right? And everybody is facing many different situations in life. So it's about learning how also to make a plan, be content, be in a way where you can learn from that particular situation as well, because every little situation that you have, you can learn something from it. And whether that's the good, bad, the ugly, you can learn something from it to where you get yourself up out of that, right? Begin to eliminate those things that are no longer useful or good for you in your life. That is like, people think, oh, that sounds so simple, right? But is it really? Because most of the time we are attached to the things that we learned in this world. Meanwhile, we, been attached to a lot of lies and feeling like we have to stay in certain situations just because. And we have to realize within ourselves, the Most High will not want us in situations that is making us ill. The Most High wants us to be in situations that is healing, that is preparing us for growth, that is leading us into our highest potential within our higher self. And that's the truth. So it's on us to begin to take our power back and be like, no, I ain't doing this no more. This isn't working. And it's quite that simple. And once you begin to do that, you work your way out of the situation. Create, an exit plan in whatever situation you might be facing, right? And get to moving. Because nothing's going to change until you start putting action toward what you need to do. One. And I like to see it this way. Because to me, we have our magnetic force field. And the Most High has given us armor. And it's on us to use it and take care of it, right? To build that shield and begin to use it wisely, right? So this is the thing. It's about building that, right? And when you're going on up into, the upward spiral, right? You begin to see where you're at with things. And it's good to go study the vibrations and the frequencies of the upward spiral and the downward spiral when it comes to energy and vibrations. And when you begin to see where you're at with also how you deal with things, your emotions and things like that, it's about working on yourself. And sometimes, it's raw. So yeah, you're working on yourself every day, right? But that's what it's gonna take. And sometimes if it's causing, certain, energy, certain thoughts out of you, you gotta take note of that and realize it puts you in those type of spaces. And it's like, why do I continue to keep doing this with the energies that you might be, around? And sometimes, It's also, a time too where, it's for you to learn from, it's for you to conquer, right? Because sometimes you're in situations, right, that you had no choice, you got to deal with it for at that particular time, right? So again, also that situation can be that too, where you can just, flip it and be like, okay, I have to, deal with this. So it's for you to not allow it to, interrupt your inner peace, right? Because sometimes you be in situations that you don't want to be in, right? Or it's not literally in your control at this particular time. But again, it's also a time where you think about it, where I can prepare an exit and move to a place where my energy can be used in other places. So that's what it is. You gotta learn how to flow your life and maneuver. And as long as you are, being that from within, like you that energy from within, where, that's why it's important to be by yourself, because then you get to feel your own energy. You get to hear your own thoughts, how you truly feel about life, and, what's going on with you, right? And sometimes also it's good to get it out, and sometimes you may not want to get it out by speaking it out. Sometimes you want to get it out by writing. It's beautiful, like, and it's something about when you're writing with a pencil or you're writing with a pen. Pencil is good. You're writing with a pencil, you can erase, right? And either way, you're writing it down. It's spiritual, and you begin to see truly how you really feel on the inside when you're being honest with whatever you're facing at that time. So that's a way of getting it out, because it's very important that you begin to get it out, so you can see what's really happening with you, and then you can see like where it's at on paper, you point to it and see what is causing this issue. You go and you examine what's really happening here, and you also realize that you play a part in it all as well, but realizing this may not be healthy for my growth and development spiritually, and it's for you to create an exit or eliminate those things out of your life. Because again, let me just tell you, you find when you're going along a path that a lot of things do be holding you back, and it's out of love or care or comfort that we continue to keep being in certain situations, realizing that we're wasting life, wasting our time when it comes to that, because it's like sometimes situations are needed to learn, right? But then also it can also be a thing where you wasted all that time, because I know sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, why didn't I make this decision before? Has that happened to you? Where you realize, why hasn't I made that decision before? Were you ready? And I realized that, at the time I didn't love myself the way, that I thought I did, because we always think we love ourselves, right? You know what I'm saying? But your action speaks louder than words when it comes to that, because again, if you allow yourself in situations that have you out here and, doing the most, right, crying and mad about things, and you wondering why, and you're doing good things, and people, treating you how they treat you, and, all of that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then that part is on you. That is on you to make a decision for your life, because it's your reality and you create it, and it's on you to begin to let those things go. And this not only goes for people, right? This goes for things you own, things you do, things that you into, places you go, environments you be in. All of these things matter. And it also is a reflection of who you are, whether you realize it or not. And we're all reflections, and we all been in different spaces in time. Remember though, if you've outgrown a space and you know it, and other people around you haven't, and you're around these people, again, it's for us to realize these things and realize we need to, move on. And that's the hardest part, because we love, at the end of the day, you got to start choosing you first, because again, the Most High wants you in the best environments that will help you grow and develop spiritually, and sometimes that's going to require you to be by yourself, and that's okay. And then the right people, once you begin to switch your timelines, the right people begin to appear in your life. That's for the vibration that you're on and frequency. And most of the time, I realized that a lot of people don't really have a lot of patience. People just, so used to this fast-paced society, and that's not their fault, right? Because this is the way society is. Everything's all fast-paced and on go mode all the time. But remember, family, nature, if you look at nature and just smelling the roses, right? Or smelling the flowers, right? When you begin to look at nature moves, in design and slow. Everything grows at its particular season and time, in divine timing with everything. Everything is connected. And the same thing goes for us in our life. When we're out of whack, we everywhere out here, things are not going to be in alignment. Things are not going to be moving the way you want them to. And sometimes that's needed because it's showing you that you need to get back in balance. And you have to pay attention to that when that happens to you. That, okay, I see that if you look around you, you're out of balance, right? And I know for me, when I know that sometimes when I get out of balance, right, I can tell by just, it's about how you keep your temple and how you, take care of your house, right? And it's like when things are out of order, I'm kind of overwhelmed with everything that I'm doing right sometimes. And I realize that when certain things are not in order, right? When certain things are not in order, because sometimes, don't lie, it be like that for sometimes some people too. Some things, because you got a lot going on. Sometimes for some people. Now, some people are extremely, got it in order all the time, right? But I know for me, that's not me, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say that I got everything in order, as far as that all the time, because sometimes I get out of balance, right? But it's about knowing when you do, and you can tell by, what you're doing, how you got things going around you, right? And sometimes when you're doing a lot of things out at one time, you're not realizing that we shouldn't multitask, right? But it's about focusing on one thing at a time, right? But when you got a lot of things going on, like, you gotta learn how to maneuver. And I know for me, when you're entering new spaces in life, for me personally, I realized that, I had to get back in balance when I felt myself getting a little overwhelmed with things and all the responsibilities that I have to take care of, even within myself and others, right? So it's the journey. And that's why I say the journey is raw, family. And again, it's about you seeing these things. Because sometimes, for me, I can get all into the spiritual side so much that I begin to get on balance with the physical. Because I begin to be so up into the spiritual side that I begin to realize that I haven't been paying attention so much to the physical. I've been like detached so much where, I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm here, but I'm not here. And I've been reminded about balance. Get balance the physical, because it be a lot going on. I know for myself in this journey, family, it be a lot going on, and so I have to learn how to create the balance. And so everybody has their thing, right? And that's just mine. So yeah, but I know for myself, once I call it out and see it for what it is, it's about working on that, right? Until you get it. And it's however long it takes for a person to do so. But again, it's about working on you. And that's what the journey is. It's about continuing to keep becoming, your best self. So, yeah. And that is what it is. And yeah, that's just what it is. I'm just thinking, is anything else? Okay, yeah, that's just what it is. But okay, so what else I need to tell y'all? Remember, when you're going through this journey, you need the prayers and things like that. When you're going through certain things, it's good to have the Book of Light by Master Teacher Dr. Malachi York L, the Gold Book 2 by Master Teacher Dr. Malachi York L. That helps when encouraging you, right? Encouraging you to keep going. Because again, it's about making sure that you're out here, speaking the right words when it comes to how you want to get in alignment, right? Chants and things, and prayers and things, making sure you sending them out. So that's very important too. And what else? It's all about knowing who you are. And when you're checking out the pyramids and things like that, and you go inside of them and you look at them, I know a lot of people can't go see the pyramids because situations for where it's at right now. But from what you see and what you learned and you go inside the pyramids, you definitely know, for the ones that do, right, that it's us, right? It's dark skin, black, Nubian. And I just use black for the people that can relate, right? Because, don't get it. Nubian. People are in the pyramids, right? And they tried to change the color into a more lighter color, but you see it, woolly. Chocolate burnt face, right? So that should tell you a lot about where we really come from. And these pyramids existed 10,500 years ago, before any of the religions came about, family. So that's really something to think about, right? So at the end of the day, you just have to really see, like, wow, we existed way before then. So, first time we were kidnapped, right? And we, right? In this Western hemisphere, right? And people call it slavery, but we were literally kidnapped. We really aren't slaves, we were kidnapped. So, right. So, again, and some people, right, our people were already here, still here, right? And that's a whole nother shebang, but yeah, we're all over the planet, right? So that should tell you something. That should tell you something about your mystery, your story. And it's way more than what you've been taught, in schools and stuff. So that's why it's very important to know and identify, know who you are, right? Because anciently, right? And once you begin to see these things, you begin to understand where you come from. You can connect back to your descendants. You connect back to your ancestors. You can connect back to who you truly are. And that's when you begin to make contact, because they know that you know, and you honor, and you're proud of who you are. And how you show that is by being your true self, by being who you are, because Most High has created you beautifully made in His image. So again, in their image, us, procreated, the Elohim procreated, the Anunnaki, right? So again, remember, it's very important that you know this, because that's a part of you knowing the truth. That's a part of making you free, right? Knowing, where you are, so you connect back to, the cosmos. So you connect back to Orion. So you connect back to Oyun. So you can connect back to Rex, right? To Nibiru. All of it is very important for you to know. And again, a part of it, and a part of building that, connection back, is by, building, your magnum force field and raising your frequency and about vibration, right? By making sure that you are taking care of yourself, right? And that's a part of it. You have to take care of yourself, right? You gotta make sure you're eating your fruits and vegetables. You gotta make sure you're drinking your waters. Making sure you're having your little herbs. Making sure you're taking care of yourself. Because that's what's gonna make it, powerful. When you begin to take care of who you are and how the Most High has taught you to take care of it. How you gonna know? How you gonna know how the Most High has taught us to take care of us, right? That's why it's very important for you to have the correct information and right knowledge. And that is on a channel just for you. It's on the channel for you to learn, for you to study, so you can know how to move and so you can know what to do. And again, this is what I did, right? And this is how I did it. And so we have to continue to, let others know how to maneuver and transform, their lives as well, because the world needs it, right? And so as long as you are making sure that you're eating right, you're getting your nourishment with, making sure you have the truth of it all, right? And you study, reading, that raises your frequencies and vibrations. You learn about the world around you, the planet around you, planets, out of this world, right? All of it is important because all of it is helping you become free and see the world for what it really is in its true reality. I'm just saying. So, the reality is, right. Extraterrestrials, celestial beings, procreated humans, and that's just what it is. And when people really realize this, you know what I mean? Oh man, game over. So if you got a little bit of that up inside of you, right? Check it out, who you are, right? And you begin to see reality in a whole new way. And to me, when I know things like that, it makes me just want to learn more, because it's like, man, it's boundless. It's up from here, family. Oh yeah. It's about breaking those chains, family. No, man, I'm not a slave, family. I'm a child of the Most High, family. Joshua said I was a God, family. Message. And when you look back and the true story of Joshua, and you look back, it's in the Holy Tablets, by the way, check it out. And when you also, go to where that came from, right, anciently, right, you get into the story of, Horus, Purim, right, you begin to see life for what it really is, and how our family, the Egyptians, right, made that connection back beyond the stars to the cosmos, and how they, prepared for this afterlife, right, or the hereafter, right, But again, all of it is needed. All of the knowledge, right knowledge is needed, and that's what we had. We had this knowledge and information, so we knew about things. We just didn't wonder, we just didn't guess, we just didn't I think, or theology. And we're definitely not a mythology. This is real. We are real beings, family, Manetta. Oh yeah, it's real. So yeah, know that. And it's about honoring your descendants. That's all. It's about honoring respect, and how you do that is by showing them just the way you are. Because again, family, you are so beautifully made. I'm just saying. Yeah, That's right. I said it. Love yourself. Because the Most High loves you more than you will ever know. And through time, if you take that journey within, you will know this as well. Because the Most High doesn't move in lies. The Most High doesn't move in doubts. Family, you're gonna know. And it's about knowing the facts. Yeah. The facts of life. Alright? So, if you need help going on this good journey within and transforming your life, family, I'm here to help. And how am I, why am I, because I've done this, right? And like I said before, I've done this. And I've gotten to the place where the Most High wanted me to be. So now I'm here to also help others to ascend and do what they need to do as well. And as long as you're listening to what I'm telling you and, also going back and praying to the Most High and trusting yourself and listening to yourself about being honest with yourself about things that you're doing out here, I'm just here to help. And again, giving you my, journey, right? For you to take what you can, whatever resonates to you, and, do what you need to do. Because, again, that's what we're here for. We're here to uplift and let you know that you can too do this. Alright? So, I'm leave it at that for now, family. Again, I want y'all all to know, again, that you are loved beyond this world. Oh, yeah. And in it, being able to spread that love. Oh, yeah. One to another, family. Be the peace that you seek, family. Release our master teacher. I'm so sorry. Gotta be sometimes. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get real. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Peace, shalom, hashtag divine love, family, and wadu. And it's all